talking about my new book, which is actually the one which is shown here, The Curious and the Classified, Unearthing Military Myths and Mysteries. The question you have asked me, I think, refers to my unpublished memoir, which was called The 4 Stars of Destiny, which was recently in the news because of certain events and incidents which took place outside the parliament. I can only say that as far as we are concerned, that means the publishers, Penguin and I, Penguin has clarified very categorically that no copies of that book were in circulation in any form whatsoever, either in hard copy or in soft copy. And therefore, we are ourselves not in a position to comment on where that copy might have surfaced from. Well, if I remember correctly, the podcast with Smita was almost 2 years ago. It was nothing recent. And at that time also, I had said that there is no loss of territory. I stand by that statement even today, and that is where the matter stands. However, if somebody doesn't want to believe it, that is his choice. In fact, there is no amount of giving statements or producing evidence will ever change somebody's mind who doesn't want to believe and has got some different views altogether. So we have tried our best, but if somebody still doesn't want to accept that that is the truth, then so be it. I don't think this is a very proper question, because the political leadership doesn't interfere directly into military affairs, and attributing a particular statement directly to the Prime Minister is not in good form, because after all, whatever decisions are taken by the Cabinet Committee on Security, which comprises of a number of members, and of course that committee is headed by the Prime Minister. But it should not be said in that manner, because it's not good form. Similarly, whatever decisions are taken in the army are always on the orders of the chief. But you don't keep saying कि chief ने कहा इसलिए ऐसे करो, chief ने कहा इसलिए ऐसे करो. ऐसे तो नहीं कहते ना. It's understood that when something is being done, it is being done by the orders or by the instruction of whoever is empowered to pass such a kind of order or instruction. I think that is a very important point that you have brought out, that the armed forces should be kept as far away from politics as possible. And in fact, we pride ourselves, the Indian armed forces pride ourselves on being a very apolitical army, navy, air force. And if you see what is happening in the countries in our periphery, it is a strength that we have never even sought to get involved in political matters, and that what makes our country strong. That is what makes a democracy strong. That we are one of the pillars of the governance, along with the judiciary, the press, So along with all we are one of the pillars, and this is a strong pillar on which the country is doing so well. But that does not mean that we cannot have our own political affiliations, that we cannot cast our vote. So you have to differentiate between the organization and the individual. As an organization, we are totally apolitical. But as individuals, we have a full democratic rights to cast our vote.
Sir, do controversy public trust in the military or its apolitical nature?
I think the confidence that the Indian armed forces have and the respect that we have always been given by our people far surpass the kind of negativity that such very small issues could possibly generate. If you ask anyone, any part of the country, they will always say that the army is the best. And I always keep saying, कि भारतीय सेना भारत की सेना. We are the army of the people, for the people. And they in turn give us that love and respect, which is what makes us strong. And that is what enables us to stand on the border and guard our people.
So what message would you like to say to citizens who may feel confused by the differing interpretations of your book?
I would just say that everyone is free to interpret everything as per their own conscience, and in doing so they should see what is good in the overall national interest, and if they keep that aspect in mind, I don't think anybody would have any doubt in which way a particular issue is to be interpreted. तो अभी रिटायरमेंट होने के बाद मैं काफ़ी लिखाई पढ़ाई का काम कर रहा हूँ. तो पिछले साल मेरी पहली किताब पब्लिश हुई, जो कि जिसका नाम था द कैंटोनमेंट कॉन्स्पिरेसी, जो कि एक मर्डर मिस्ट्री था लेकिन एक आर्मी सेटिंग में. और उसके पश्चात मैंने ये नई किताब लिखी है, द क्यूरियस एंड द क्लासिफाइड अनअर्थिंग मिलिट्री मिथ्स एंड मिस्ट्रीज़. तो इसमें 25 चैप्टर है और हर चैप्टर एक ऐसे रोमांचक किस्सा है जो आर्मी, एयरफोर्स और नेवी के बारे में जानकारी देता है. और इसके ज़रिए मुझे पूरी उम्मीद है कि आम जनता जो है वो अपनी खुद की आर्मी को और अच्छी तरीके से समझ पाएगी और एक अपनापन जो है आर्मी और अपने लोगों के बीच में बढ़ेगा.